Abby Williams and Kia Nurse. Yes. Two. And I put one where the coach is and one where to the left, my left.
What is the locker room access to the players? When can we actually get them when they're not with ESPN? It's like I need to shoot video of the players.
They're available at the start of coaches' press conference to the end of the players' press conference. So in this case, it would be 2:05 to 2:40. Now I don't know how ESPN plays into that.
Well, I was told that people went down to the locker room last time trying to talk to players, and ESPN had all 5 starters. So I'm wondering if access to starters is limited to once you bring the players here. I'd like to know that because I do need to get the video.
Correct. So it's my understanding, we can verify that the room is open. Let me see when ESPN is scheduled. Bear with me.
Just when there actually be starters available in the locker room, and ESPN hasn't sequestered them away from us.
So right now, it's tough because the starters will be there from 2:05 to 2:20 with ESPN. Right. And then, well, it depends who they want to talk to. And there could be players they didn't pick that are in the locker room right now. So at 2:05, you could go into the locker room for a half hour. And depending on who's in there, you can talk to anybody who's in there. But if they're not in there, if they're here or they're with ESPN, then unfortunately they're just not in the locker room at that time.
That's obviously going to limit your availability.
Yeah. I mean, that's an NCAA thing. That's where it comes down from. And it's tough. But I mean, there's only 2 players that are going to be here during the press conference. And I would assume like probably the other 3 starters.
My best bet is once 2 players show up here, so I know ESPN has released starters, then I can go down and talk to the other starters in the locker room.
Correct. The schedule allows ESPN 2:05 to 2:20 with the players. Yeah. Which coincides with this press conference. Correct. Yes.
So yeah, right after that 2:20, when they're all out of that, you might have a few minute window before they get here.
That's okay. At least I'll have 3 other starters in the locker room.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. And what's the easiest way to the UConn?
They go right out.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir. He wants.
Yeah, I'll just make that.
He wants to get to the locker room.
Yeah, I'll just make that clear again, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, the issue.
You got like 90 things to say.
Well, no, but the issue is 2:05.
Right. But they're not allowed when the coach is here anyways. They're only allowed when it's the players' time. So they're not allowed anyways till 2:25 to get players in the locker room.
Oh, I thought it was from the time that.
No. It is the time that the players are here that they can get players. Because the other thing too is at 2:25 ESPN takes the coach.
That's right.
That's why it's listed go back in the locker room. Yes. So that's why I was saying after the coach is up here, you can make the announcement before the players come up that the locker room is now open for any players you want. It'll be open until this part of the press conference is over. Yeah.
So all others are available from 25 to 2:40.
Correct. Which is the time that we have scheduled for the players to do.
They can't get Gino though.
Correct. Correct. They can get Gino up here.
Gotcha. Okay. And he should be any minute.
Sorry, I know it's a lot of
Oh, that's all right.
material
Yeah.
out there, but especially for this one.
No question. Yes, right. We'll have. We'll have Coach Auriemma here in just a couple of seconds, or minutes rather. A number of reminders. Some of them you've heard. Please silence your cell phones. No recording of video of this press conference, though audio recording is acceptable. No flash photography, please. Please make sure you're speaking into the microphone when you have questions. Also, identify yourself and your affiliation. The student athletes who are joining us after Coach Auriemma will be Kia Nurse and Gabby Williams. Any other UConn student athletes will be available from 2:25 to 2:40 in the UConn locker room. Please see Anna for that accommodation, if you would. And those who are looking for a video of the press conferences throughout the course of the championships, you could visit ncaa.com/mediahub. Thank you. Correct. Yeah. Congratulations. Having gone through the reminders, we'll begin with Coach Auriemma. Congratulations.
Thank you.
First and foremost, if you could begin with an opening statement, and then we'll ask the media for questions, please.
Well, obviously, you know, there's not a lot of teams left in the tournament, and we're like everybody else in one sense. You know, we want to get started tomorrow, and everybody hopes to be playing again next weekend. But there's a lot to do before now and then, and I think we've got a real good mix of teams here. It's a real interesting mix, and it's good to be back in Albany, and anxious to get going.
Thank you, Coach. Questions? Doug, up here on the left.
Hey, Coach. Doug Feinberg, the AP. First off, happy birthday.
Thank you.
This regional, I mean, you've been 25 straight years to the Sweet 16. I know you watch the men's side a little bit, and there's chaos,
Yeah.
so to speak. Does it make you appreciate it more that you're able to do this year in and year out to get this far and further, as opposed to seeing these upsets that maybe go on in other parts of the bracket or on the men's side?
Well, yeah. I mean, I am surprised. I mean, after all, we have the best players. You know, every All-American that's ever played high school basketball has come to Connecticut. They don't go play anywhere else. So we're just fortunate that, you know, there's no competition out there for us. Sometimes we just feel like we should just skip the first 2 rounds and just go right to the regionals. It's so easy, right? But it isn't until somebody reminds you and says, you know, how long you guys have done this in a row, and you just look back and, yeah. And it's even more of a reminder how important it is or how much it means, because each year you see teams stumble a little bit, and you, I mean, you have to think at some point in 25 years you would stumble once, you know, or twice, but it's been a remarkable run through a lot of different players and a lot of different scenarios and at a lot of different places. And when I watched the rest of the tournament, ours as well, you know, a couple years ago when we got to the Final Four and it was 3 teams that had never been there, I thought that might be like a culmination of this is what we've been talking about. This has been the growth of the game, to go from, you know, 1991 when we made the Final Four and we were the first team from the north of the Mason-Dixon line to make the Final Four, to now, you know, you've got what's happening today, and I just think that's remarkable, and it's been a lot of fun to be a part of.
Up here to the right.
Rich Capola, Fox, Connecticut, Fox Sports. Gino, you know, obviously with Azuré, I was looking up, she had 16 in the game at Hartford when you guys beat Duke. And you said after the Quinnipiac game, I think Carl asked if you would speak to her about this, and you said yes. Have you had the chance to speak with her about the game and just trying to get her to keep her emotions down?
Not in any kind of depth or anything. I think you know, she's been gone there from there. You know, this is her 2nd year out. And I would think it's natural that you would have some kind of emotional connection. But my message was simply, I don't think they're going to feel bad if they beat us, and you're gonna do whatever you need to do to help us win, and there's plenty of time for all the other stuff, you know, but not when the game starts. And you know, I'm watching her at practice the last couple of days. I don't see any of that, but you never know. I said, hey, they've been really good since you left, so maybe they're happy that you left. So I try to do whatever I can to get her going.
Other questions? Over here to the right.
Carl Atnick, Journal Inquirer. Gino, your impressions of Duke guards Lexi Brown and Rebecca Greenwell?
Probably the same impressions that everybody else has. You know, 2 really, really good kids. I've had a chance to be around Rebecca Greenwell a little more than Lexi Brown, but having played against her when she was in Maryland, you know, you watch them play, and they're really, really good, and they do a lot. They're the heart and soul of that team, and they play well together. They complement each other great. They're able to sometimes single-handedly win games for them. I think it's going to be a challenge for us to contain both of them, and we have to just pick one of them. But they're both really, really, really good, and I'm looking forward to seeing them up close.
And you have a follow-up? Yes, sir.
Just having 2 fifth-year seniors as your guards, how much of them that play into what they're able to do?
Yeah, there's no substitute for experience. I mean, obviously talent, but the fact that they've played a lot of basketball, they've been in a lot of different circumstances, and yeah, you're not dealing with inexperience here. You're dealing with talented kids who understand, what they have to do, and there's nothing easy about what's in store for our guards tomorrow.
Over here on the left.
Jim Fuller, New Haven Register. Nafisa obviously has raised the level of her play in the NCAA tournament. Odom's doubled her scoring average from the regular season. Do you see similarities in the things that they're asked to do for their teams and how they've been able to elevate the level of their play?
Yeah, I do. And I have seen a big change in Nafisa. The really good players, they know when it's time. They know. They're able to summon up something that a lot of players can't. And I think everybody on Duke's team knows that Lexi Brown and Rebecca Greenwell have to play great for them to win. And everybody on our team knows we need great performance from FISA if we want to do what we set out to do. And so the really, really good players, they know what time of the year it is, and they come ready.
Again to the left.
Mike Anthony from the Hartford Courant. You've talked, I think it was in January, maybe after the victory at South Carolina, you said if we keep meeting moments, along the way, we'll be ready for the big moments. These are kind of the big moments now, the season funneling down. Where is your team mentally and emotionally with kind of the urgency of this situation, the importance of these games?
I think you always think that you're prepared. I mean, you always think you're ready. We've certainly had a lot of games where we've had to do some things that tested us. We've also had a lot of games that we weren't. But I think the real test is always why you're doing it. Playing, coaching a team and playing in the NCAA tournament is kind of like investing. And they give you on the prospectus, they have to make sure you read the fine print at the bottom, what's it say? Past performance is no guarantee of future success, right? So no matter what you did in November, December, January, you still have to be able to perform, tomorrow. And whether you're ready to do that, you don't know. All you can do is go through your schedule, do what you have to do. So far we've answered every challenge. And I got to believe that win or lose, I mean, tomorrow, there's no guarantees, obviously, but it won't be because we're not ready for it.
We have time for one or two more. Jerry?
The remarks that Joanne made a couple of years ago when Azare came to UConn, is that something that you would bring up with her or not? You just let it slide, or?
I don't think the comments that she made were, in a way, in any form derogatory or anti Connecticut or anti Azare. I never took them that way. I think what she was saying, there was some validity to that it's unusual for a team like Connecticut to have someone transfer in, and it's true. So I just thought of it as, that's just the changing world that we live in. We've had kids move on to other schools from our place, and there's lots of kids that move on from other schools, and this one just happened to be, a really, really good player that wanted to make a change. So I didn't take it in a bad way. No, not at all.
Last one over here to the left.
Roger Cleveland from the Waterbury Republican American. Gino, we haven't seen you since Jamel got fired. I was just wondering if you could talk about your reaction to that.
Obviously, I was surprised. I mean, if you were going to fire her, you should have fired her 2 years ago when they were terrible. Don't wait till they build the program back up and finish fourth, the highest they've ever done and the best they've ever done, and then say, okay, we're going to bring in somebody new now that they have a pretty good team to coach. I just thought it was bad timing, and there's a lot of deeper issues that are going on there, believe me, that go beyond someone getting let go. Losing your job in this profession, that's expected, you know? And if you're not any good and people want to get rid of you, that's fine. But the way it was done and when it was done, given the circumstances. But then again, knowing what I know, I'm not surprised.
Thank you for joining us, Coach. Good luck to you.
Alrighty, thank you.
For additional student athletes for UConn outside of Kia and Gabby, please see Anna. We'll have the 2 student athletes on the dais shortly. Thank you. We're joined by Kia Nurse and Gabby Williams. Congratulations on being here. Just as a reminder, please make sure you speak into the microphone so that not only the folks in the room can hear, but also we can catch it on the webcast. We'll begin with questions from the media members, if you have any. Over here, Doug.
Doug Feinberg, the AP. For both of you guys, just what do you know about Duke so far? They're obviously have a talented backcourt. Just what you've seen on film of them, since you haven't played them in a few years. I don't know if when you're a freshman you play them at all, but you haven't played Duke in, I think, since 2014.
Kia, we'll start with you.
Like you said, obviously their backcourt, very talented. They find each other extremely well, and their three-point range is obviously deep and effective. And I think they do a great job with their zone. They're long, try to use their length to their advantage, so that'll be interesting.
And Gabby?
Yeah, I mean, they have two really, really talented guards who are going to be hard to stop offensively, but defensively, they like to pressure the ball. They're really aggressive, like to trap, so we're going to have to really take care of it tomorrow.
Additional questions? Doug, again?
I asked Coach this. I mean, it's 25 straight years that UConn's made it to the Sweet 16. You guys are part of the last 4. Buffalo's here for the first time ever in school history. Do you appreciate that other schools don't have the same success you guys have? And I mean, it's sort of taken for granted outside of UConn that you guys make the Sweet 16 every year. But to see some of these new faces out there that you may not play or know, but have their first experience, does it make it fun to see the tournament, other teams getting there besides you guys?
Kia?
I mean, I think it's a great experience, the Sweet 16 itself, and just being here in the environment. It's always fun. And I think for teams who are coming here for the first time, you know, when we were freshmen and we were in this building for our first time, it's kind of eye-opening and it's amazing, and you are grateful for the experience and you appreciate it. In terms of us getting here as much as we do, I think that's just a testament to Coach Auriemma and Coach Daly and what they've done, the legacy that they built, and then the people who came before us to give us the opportunity and build this into what it is.
Gabby, anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, she pretty much said it all. But it is cool for us to see teams be here for the first time. And I think it's also something for the teams who are at the top. You know, it's a reminder that this is anyone's game and that anything can happen. So it's, I guess it kind of humbles you a little bit that you got to kind of watch your back.
Thank you. Pete, in the right?
Hi, Pete Doherty, Albany Times Union. You two ladies were here 3 years ago in Albany. I believe you beat Texas and Dayton. I'm just wondering what your memories might be of having been here 3 years ago.
Well, the Dayton game was a memory in itself. Obviously, they played a really good first half. And then, you know, we played Texas and we played them really well when we came out, and that was exciting. And I think, you know, the end part of it is you get a trip to the Final Four, and if you can have that as many times as you can, that's probably the best experience that you want. And hopefully that's how this one ends as well.
Gabby?
I don't know. I blocked out like 90% of freshman. No, I just remember the excitement of the tournament because at that point we'd only heard the talk about it, and you know, you think that you're ready for it after everything you've been through. You've played 30+ games, but there's nothing really to prepare you for this atmosphere.
Thank you. Also on the right, Chris?
Kia, Chris Honorato from News Channel 13 and the ESPN radio locally. I think if you were to stop anybody randomly on the street in any city across the country and asked who won the national championship in women's college basketball last year, 99 out of 100 would say UConn if they didn't follow the game closely enough. With that not being the case, how do you guys, you know, resist that complacency maybe that comes with the expectations of this program?
Well, I think every single time we end up in this situation and every time kind of March comes around, we hope that throughout the year, throughout the season, we've prepared ourselves in every way possible. Seen as many defensive executions that we need to. How do we create as many strengths for ourselves and kind of hide our weaknesses as much as we can? And we just have a great leadership of our coaching staff who will not ever let us be complacent in anything we do, whether that be the practice that we have that day, the game that we're playing, and even if we win by a lot, it's not a complacent win if we didn't play up to our own standards. And I think that's something that prepares us for this tournament and prepares us to go into every game with the understanding that it's not a cakewalk, it never will be, and we have to earn everything that we get.
Thank you. Jerry, here to the right.
Kia,
Jerry Sullivan from the Buffalo News, talking about complacency and avoiding that. How does it help to see a team like Buffalo? They've never won a game in the tournament ever, and they're kind of happy to be here, but does that kind of wake you up a little bit to not take it for granted?
Absolutely. I think one of the best things about having a team like Buffalo in this region is the fact that everybody has to wake up and smell the roses and see that, like Gabby said, this is anybody's tournament. And on any given day, if you come out and you don't play your top game or you don't play with respect towards your opponents, anything can happen. And Buffalo has shown that time and time again throughout this tournament.
Additional questions if we have them? Yes, Jerry?
I'll ask Gabby because your coach was just talking about seeing Central Michigan and Buffalo as 11 seeds win in the supposed mid-major, and he thinks that's good for the women's game. How do you perceive that?
Yeah, I think it's good for the game too, because like I said before, it kind of makes the top teams kind of watch their back a little bit, and realize that it's not just about your talent, but it's about the way you compete and it's about the way you work. And you start to get more teams that have a combination of talent and that work ethic. And I think those mid-major teams winning games like that reminds the whole country of that.
Any additional questions? Over here, Doug?
Key, you mentioned the excitement the first time you were here 3 years ago, or I guess 4 years ago. Does it look like or feel like the last 4 years have flown by, or has it been slow? I mean, what's the mindset? I mean, you coming full circle, coming back here for a Sweet 16, and is it, wow, it feels like 20 years ago we were last here, or is it like, wow, it feels like yesterday we were here doing the same thing?
Every day I feel like I look back and I think that freshman year was yesterday, and I'm still kind of learning the ropes, but not anymore. And this has been full circle. Coming back here, coming back to this facility, different hotel this time, but definitely things have flown by so fast, and I think that's why when we're sitting in the circle before practice, you can look at the freshmen and you can see, oh, this year's gone by really quickly, and you feel like you have forever in freshman year, and you get to your senior year, and it just goes by in the blink of an eye. And those 4 years are the best 4 years of your life, but you have to understand that they go by so quickly, there's no point in wasting any time.
Anything else for our student athletes? Seeing none, Kia, Gabby, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.